hier ist unser Cool-Projekt und wir sind hier in das Zimmer hier und wir machen ein Projekt für Kultur über andere Sprachen. Und mein Name ist, ich bin Patrick White.
99 Kriegsminister, Thresholds und Benzinkanister. Hier denkt sich für schlaue Leute. Wettertausch und Wetterbeute. Liefern Krieg und Wolkenmacht. Man, wer hätte das gedacht? Das ist ein...
Well, when I moved here, they stuck me in ESL, so that kind of helped a little bit. But most of it was just, you know, going up to people and just using kind of like, you know, hand signals and acting like a little kid to try and figure out what the heck we're going to do. I mean, you know, it was elementary school, so luckily I didn't have to talk about much, just what game you're going to play and so on. But yeah, took me about 5 months. So the best thing is you just kind of, you can't really communicate to them, but they can communicate to you, and it's a lot easier for you. After a while, you start understanding small bits and pieces, and it becomes really easy for you.
And what are advantages of knowing 2 languages? Maybe not so much here, but from where you're from.
Well, in Europe, growing up knowing 2 languages, pretty much you can get around everywhere because everybody over there does speak 1 or 2 languages. So if you know 1 or 2, you're pretty much set. Also, it helps with like, you know, not dealing with other cultures because speaking 2 languages, you learn different cultures and how to interact with them. So that's helped me out a lot living over there.
Jenna from Hawaii. Wouldn't it be nice if we were older and we would have to wait so long? Wouldn't it be nice to live together in the kind of world where we belong? You know it's gonna make it that much better when we can say goodnight and stay.
Ollie, how do you communicate with someone who doesn't speak the same language as you?
Again, sign language, that's all I know. So basically, you know, whatever it is you're doing, you try to communicate with that person, that's all I know. So.
Okay, what advantages have you had because you speak more than 1 language? Like you speak Tongan. How's that an advantage for you coming here?
I was born here, so I was basically, my parents raised me up to learn I knew my own language. I was born here in the mainland, so it didn't mean nothing to me, but I was really strong with my culture. My parents taught me everything in my language, so like I have no other way to explain, but put it this way, like for me, if I was put in a situation, if the police was to pull me over or something, and I got me and my boys, I just turn around, we do secret talk in our own language or whatever, and make sure, you know what I mean? Something like that. So that's the only situation I can put it in. Like if a cop was to come pull me over, I just start speaking my language, he wouldn't know anything, he'd let me go or something like that, and I think that'd be an advantage for me, so that's what I'm saying.
How about you say something? An example.
So basically, I just said I'm talking American, and my parents are from the islands. I'm born here on the mainland. So.
Alright, thank you.
Touching me. She's touching me.
I'm not touching you.
You're touching me.
Not touching.
Touching me.
Keisha, being from Hawaii, how do you communicate with someone who doesn't speak the same language as you?
Well, if they don't speak the same language as me, I'll just use regular English. Hopefully they understand. And if they don't, then I'll use nonverbal communication, sign language, which I don't know, but they probably understand better.
What advantages have you had because you speak more than 1 language?
If you don't understand what I'm saying and my friend does, and like we would talk, I would say stuff about you knowing, secretive. Aloha i kaiaka. That means good morning.
Mahalo.
Well, mahalo. Hello, goodbye.
¿Qué onda, Diego?
Well, probably like how Patrick said, with like signals and hand signals, and trying to like just find common ground and see what subject you guys talking about or things like that. The majority of the people here speak Spanish or both English and Spanish, so it's really easy for me to communicate with all the people here in Yuma or Somerton or San Luis, and it's a real big like plus me speaking Spanish because, like how I said, you can communicate with people at a store or at school.
Understand people, the main language here would be Spanish. I can't really understand what people are saying. I can pick up words here and there, but not real well. So it's a huge disadvantage not being able to understand what people are saying, understand what people are asking you, and if you need to figure something out, you can't ask how to do it if you know the people you have or people who speak Spanish. So that's a disadvantage.
Do you know sign language?
I know just one sign. It means leave me alone for 20 minutes or die painfully.
There is going to be speech therapy. I'm going to work a lot with deaf kids in that area. Speech therapy is the main thing that they work with is deaf kids or hard of hearing kids, kids with hearing aids or with speech impairments. I can't talk well. Hello, my name is Iglesia. I live in Yuma. I'm 20 years old. Deaf community is really small. So when I've had people actually that I met that are deaf that come into work and stuff at the restaurant, and they start trying to point things out to me or write things down to me, and I just start signing back to them, and they're like, "Wow, you know sign language?" They're like really surprised, and that makes me feel happy that I can actually communicate with them.
What were the advantages of learning Japanese while you were living in Japan?
It's really, it's a lot easier to communicate, obviously, it's the big deal. Different cultures, and it's easier to be more involved in the other cultures. You know a little bit what they're saying, and they know a little bit of what you're saying, and you can just, it's a lot easier to really involve yourself in other people and what they're trying to do, because you are in another country, and it's really hard to immerse yourself in the other cultures without knowing a little bit of the language.
Welcome to Japan, a land of ancient temples and modern conveniences.
렉스, konnichiwa. 질문이 있는데요. 한국에 왔을 때 한국말을 할 줄 알아서 좋았던 점이 뭐예요?
Well, the benefit of learning Japanese before I went to Japan was I really only had the basics when I was in Japan. So I couldn't really understand most of my friends, but I did brush up on the most basic stuff that I could think of. For example, if you want to tell somebody, would you like another beer? Biru wa dou? And how, like, would you like another beer? In a phrase to, I would like another beer, please. Biru wa mou ippon onegai shimasu. And because when you're drinking in Japan, you don't really need to have a language barrier there. The language barrier just goes away. That's the international translation tool. Give somebody a beer because, not because it's funny, but it's also because you feel completely comfortable when you're in a nocturnal state and your Japanese just comes out fluently without being nervous. So I could actually communicate with simple basic things. For example, purchasing my ticket at Tokyo Narita Airport, or telling the stewardess that I want a window seat, and also train stations, subways, stuff like that.
일본말을 하면서 재밌었던 에피소드나 황당했던 경험은 없었는지요?
Well, one of the most embarrassing times that I had while doing communication was the guys and girls in Japan totally have their own different way of speaking. For example, guys, when they want to say, for example, the word you, they say boku wa. And then girls, they say anata. So I grew up watching animation, Japanese animation. It was mostly girls, and it was a girl anime series. And they spoke only Japanese, and but they spoke in the girl way of Japanese. So when I went to Japan, I kind of spoke like a girl, and my friends made fun of me. I was with my friend in Shinjuku, and I was asking her a very simple question, and I was trying to make it very simple. I asked her that if this night spot was very popular with boyfriends and girlfriends. And she looked at me with like the weirdest face ever, and she thought that I was asking her out as a girlfriend, which she completely turned me down. But that was an embarrassing moment. She totally misunderstood me because the nightclubs in Japan are just crazy.